Section 215 Vaisampayana said, the Pandavas, having established such a rule, continued to reside there. By the prowess of their arms, they brought many kings under their sway, and Krishna became obedient unto all the 5 sons of Pritha, those lions among men of immeasurable energy, like the river Saraswati decked with elephants, which again take pleasure in that stream. Draupadi took great delight in her 5 heroic husbands, and they too took delight in her. And in consequence of the illustrious Pandavas being exceedingly virtuous in their practice, the whole race of Kurus, free from sin and happy, thrived in prosperity. After some time, O king, it so happened that certain robbers lifted the cattle of a Brahmana, and while they were carrying away the booty, the Brahmana, deprived of his senses by hunger, repaired to Khandavaprastha and began to reprove the Pandavas in accents of vow. The Brahmana said, Hey Pandavas, from this your dominion, my kind are even now being taken away by force, by despicable and wicked wretches. Pursue, hey, the thieves. Alas, the sacrificial butter of a peaceful Brahmana is being taken away by crows. Alas, the wretched jackal invaded the empty cave of a lion. A king that taketh the 6th part of the produce of the land without protecting the subject had been called by the wise to be the most sinful person in the whole world. The wealth of a Brahmana is being taken away by robbers. Virtue itself is sustaining a diminution. Take me up by the hand, he Pandavas, for I am plunged in grief. Vaisampayana continued. Dhananjaya, the son of Kunti, heard those accents of the Brahmana weeping in bitter grief. As soon as he heard those accents, he loudly assured the Brahmana, saying, No fear. But it is so happened that the chamber where the illustrious Pandavas had their weapons was then occupied by Yudhishthira, the just with Krishna. Arjuna, therefore, was incapable of entering it or going alone with the Brahmana, though repeatedly urged to do either by the weeping accents of the Brahmana. Summoned by the Brahmana, Arjuna reflected with a sorrowful heart, Alas, this innocent Brahmana's wealth is being robbed. I should certainly dry up his tears. He hath come to our gate, and he is weeping even now. If I do not protect him, the king will be touched with sin in consequence of my indifference. Our own irreligiousness will be cited throughout the kingdom, and we shall incur a great sin. If disregarding the king I enter the chamber, without doubt I shall be behaving untruthfully towards the monarch without a foe. By entering the chamber again, I incur the penalty of an exile in the woods. But I must overlook everything. I care not if I have to incur sin by disregarding the king. I care not if I have to go to the woods and die there. Virtue is superior to the body, and lasteth after the body hath perished. Dhananjaya, arriving at this resolution, entered the chamber and talked with Yudhishthira. Coming out with the bow, he cheerfully told the Brahmana, Proceed, O Brahmana, with haste, so that those wretched robbers may not go much ahead of us. I shall accompany thee and restore unto thee thy wealth that hath fallen into the hands of the thieves. Then Dhananjaya, capable of using both his arms with equal skill, armed with bow and cased in mail, and riding in his war chariot decked with standard, pursued the thieves, and piercing them with his arrows, compelled them to give up the booty, benefiting the Brahmana thus by making over to him his kind, and winning great renown. The hero returned to the capital, bowing horn to all the elders, and congratulated by everybody. Partha at last approached Yudhishthira, and addressing him said, Give me leave, O Lord, to observe the vow I took. In beholding thee sitting with Draupadi, I have violated the rule established by ourselves. I shall therefore go into the woods, for this is even our understanding. Then Yudhishthira, suddenly hearing those painful words, became afflicted with grief and said in an agitated voice, "Why?" A little while after, King Yudhishthira, in grief, said unto his brother Dhananjaya, of curly hair, who never departed from his vows, these words, "O sinless one, if I am an authority worthy of regard, listen to what I say. O hero, full well do I know the reason why thou hadst entered my chamber, and didst what thou regardest to be an act disagreeable to me. But there is no displeasure in my mind. The younger brother may, without fault, enter the chamber where the elder brother sitteth with his wife. It is only the elder brother that acts against the rules of propriety by entering the room where the younger brother sitteth with his wife. Therefore, O thou of mighty arms, desist from thy purpose. Do what I say. Thy virtue had sustained no diminution. Thou hast not disregarded me." Arjuna, hearing this, replied, "I have heard even from thee that quibbling is not permitted in the discharge of duty. I cannot waver from truth. Truth is my weapon." Vaisampayana continued. Obtaining then the king's permission, Arjuna prepared himself for a forest life, and he went to the forest to live there for 12 years. Thus ends the 215th section in the Arjuna Vanavasa Parva, in the Adi Parva.